2 out of 3 section wins now. You got shutouts. You impressed with that more than the wins even?
I like the way our defense is playing going into section play, yes.
Okay. Do you go into Manheim thinking you're going to shut out the Barons?
No.
It just happened that way, or what?
No, we played real well, and I think we matched up real well on the perimeter, and it allowed us to put pressure on the quarterback.
Okay. You knew he was going to touch it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Either throwing it or just flat out draws.
And even if we're doing run blitzes and stunts, we're at least in his face making the throws hard, but we definitely had to take away his running lanes. He's a heck of a ball player.
He does a lot for them. I think you'll agree.
Yeah.
The punt return and getting points off that, how was that for momentum and just the whole works?
Oh, that was huge. We already had momentum and we were getting the ball back as it was, but there's nothing like changing momentum of a game than a block punt. And we did a real nice job on it. Ryan, on the first one, when they had a bad snap, we had nobody on the punter.
Right.
And on that one, we just decided let's put the pressure on, and we got there.
Apparently Travis made a big block or something. I don't know if you saw it. Do you remember?
On the return.
On the return one.
I did not see it. I just saw a lot of guys getting out in front, so good for Travis. That's good for Travis.
Are you calling punt block on that? Are you calling setup, kick, punt return on that? I mean, how do you guys handle your punt plays?
That particular one, we were just sending the one kid. He just happened to make a nice play off the edge.
Okay.
So, we can get more aggressive if we want, but right now we were trying to get a return and just make sure that the ball was loose, that we had somebody on kicker that time. Okay.
Game like this, special teams are huge.
Yeah.
I'm sure you talked about that. I mean,
yeah, we were real worried about that all week. In fact, the only reason I deferred was I didn't want to be pinned into the end zone on the opening kickoff. So we had some faith that our defense could get us a better stop and give us better field position. And I think the whole first half we were winning that battle. And when we didn't drive the whole field, we drove enough, and then Shank had the one punt, I think, inside the 5.
Yeah, it was a good punt, good bounce. Yeah.
So we had a lot of breaks there.
Central usually beats pretty much everybody in special teams, and I thought you guys won that war tonight. I know Meyer had the great punt, the one over his head to save him. Yeah. But I mean, you got the punt block. You had a punt down inside the 5. You returned a punt for 6.
And then a nice kickoff return at the end there, too.
Yeah, 35-yard kick return. So to win special teams against them
is very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
And very rewarding, I'm sure.
Yeah, we wanted to break even on it. We were lucky to do more than that. The goal was just take what the kicker does to us and try to make the best out of it. So
he's somebody you really got a game plan for. Yeah. Like you said, you deferred because you didn't want to go 80 off the bat.
Yep.
I'm surprised there was no scoring in the second half a little bit. We were kind of exchanging fourth down conversions there for a while.
I thought they came out with a nice game plan. And as far as stopping the run, I know we're probably going to try to do mostly run with keep the clock going. We didn't spread it out as much as we like to, but I'll give them credit. They came out, they played all 4 quarters, they tackled better the second half, and they were way more aggressive.
Yeah, they played a better second half for
Definitely.
sure. Yeah, they popped a couple more big plays and more.
And turnover, they forced a turnover or 2 as well. So between the turnovers, the penalties, and the better defense, just didn't work out the same as the first half. But that was all about keeping the clock moving and getting to the end with nobody hurt.
True. I think you had a pick and a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Did you get over even now in turnover ratio?
I would hope so. We tried our best to get back to even, I think, but
it's odd that you guys have been a minus all year in that category.
We've been a minus, but it's more because we haven't had as many turnovers in our favor. I don't think it's like we're a turnover machine.
Okay.
I think we're turning the ball over once a game, roughly, maybe twice on a bad night, and so I think it's just more that we're more of a speed, read, and react defense. We're not really getting at what
stripping kind of a thing. Okay.
Tonight was good for us to start doing those things.
Okay. Garden Spot won big. They won pretty comfortably. So 3-0, and you have them next. Back into the fire.
Yeah.
It's just the way it should be, though. You like this? I mean, here you go. Another first place game.
Yes. It's Section 2 is all about, and we're the only 2-3-0 now.
That's it.
Well, someone's not going to be next week, so
yeah.
Well, it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun week for both teams. It's been a collision course all year, and here it is.
I asked your guys on the field if the bullseye stuff has bothered them, and they said, no, not really. And Ryan even said, we're still kind of new to this, so we're not really sure. How do you think they've handled it?
We graduated almost the entire starting team. So in a way, it's a lot of kids wanting to make their own mark. And, we only have a handful of kids that were starters last year, the backfield and then one or two other kids. Mm-hmm. So I think overall, the bullseye is there, but I don't know. It's not the same as when you return all your kids.
Okay. So no, it hasn't phased them? Short answer?
They're a loose group, too.
Yeah, I can tell. They're fun.
They're not going to be I don't think I've ever seen Dan Neff nervous, like kids like that. Yeah. It's nice to have. Shank's been there for 4 years. He's been through some battles. So, they have a good time. They work hard and play fast. It's nice to be around.
Most valuable player for you to this point has been who? You got to pick a kid.
That's tough.
You have such good balance everywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have to pick one, it's Nate Shank.
Okay.
He's on defense. He's made an adjustment to linebacker to replace a kid like Ethan that if we don't make that move, we might be searching still. And offensively, he's able to get the ball into all those hands and still be a weapon if you forget about him.
Sure.
And he's just a great leader on the field. So, but it's really hard to say he's the one because there's a lot of kids doing a lot of great things.
Your balance is great again. It was last year, and you kind of picked up where you left off with that. Unsung hero? Is there a kid who's kind of played above and beyond maybe you thought from August?
Andre Diener.
Heard his name a lot tonight.
Andre plays well at guard for us. He rotates in with Jason Lindsley to keep them both fresh for defense. Michael Warfel, I didn't even know who the kid was a year ago. He didn't even play junior high ball, and he's on the field starting and rotating at D-tackle, just making a ton of plays. We've been doing a lot of this with what at the beginning was patchwork D-line. Andre was a linebacker last year. Michael didn't play football. Travis was hurt, one of our starting D-tackles earlier in the year, and these guys have really come on. We're rotating a lot of kids and staying fresher than we thought we would. So I guess the unsung hero to me is the whole D-line.
Okay.
And definitely Andre leading it.